Hey Diane, you there? We're getting divorced, you got that?
Is that you, Mark? What the hell are you talking about? This is kind of out of the blue, don't you think?
You heard me. I said I'm divorcing you. I can't go on living with you any longer. Stop off on your way back from work and pick up the divorce forms from City Hall, would you?
Hold on a second, Mark. Have you lost your mind? Just because you say we're getting divorced, I can't just say, okay, sure. I mean, come on, it's not like we're still in high school. And what about our daughters? Have you thought about them? They're only 5 and 6 years old, and you're just going to dump them and go about your merry way? You're a father, for God's sake. It's not as simple as just breaking it off. Don't you think you should be a little more responsible than that?
The problem are the girls, our 2 daughters.
Excuse me, what are you talking about? Is this about what I think it's about? That we're able to have girls, but I can't give birth to boys? Is that what you're saying again?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I didn't even have to bring it up, which means you have a problem with it too.
I don't have a problem with my daughters one bit, but you keep bringing it up so often that it's always on my mind, and when this divorce talk came up, that was the first thing that came to my mind. I hope you're not thinking that I did it on purpose and gave birth to 2 girls. If you are, you've totally lost it, Mark.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, how could you control it? But your family, you got 3 brothers. But then you only give birth to girls? It kinda gets frustrating. So sometimes I do think that maybe you might be using some sort of method to have girls. Like eating certain foods, or maybe there's a drug? I don't know. I start to get a little suspicious is all.
Don't you remember that I explained it all to you a bunch of times? The father's sperm determines whether a baby will be born as a boy or a girl. I showed you that scientific journal online. Don't you remember?
Yeah, but you're the one that's giving birth. It has to be your fault.
Oh boy, this is getting nowhere.
Anyways, whatever you say, we need to get divorced no matter what. There's just no turning back.
Why are you so determined to get divorced? I can't understand this urgency.
I have to get a divorce because my girlfriend just gave birth to a baby boy, that's why.
Wait, back up a bit, would you? Your girlfriend?
Yeah, that's right. We run a small family business. We need a male heir to take over the business someday. Our daughters just won't do. I met this girl and she gave me a boy. So the logical thing to do is to take her as my wife. I tried with this woman several times and it finally happened. After my 3rd try, I was finally able to bring a boy into this world. It's a miracle!
You're making this infidelity sound like it's normal. You were cheating on me, for crying out loud. Have you no shame?
I don't care what you do. You can have custody of the 2 girls. Just hurry up and give me that damn divorce. As for child support and whatever compensation I have to pay, I'll pay it. I don't have to deal with you kicking up a fuss about it later on. With that said, you still got complaints?
It's pointless talking with you. You seem to have your mind set on this.
Yeah, you sure got that right.
All right, have it your way. I'll give you that divorce. But you're not getting away with just paying. I will have my lawyer handle everything just in case, if you don't mind.
I said I would pay for their education and compensation to you. Isn't that enough? Let's just get it over with.
Didn't you hear me? I said just in case. If I don't let my lawyer handle it, you may just take off without paying. I mean, how can I trust someone who cheated on me, right? Do you really think I would simply take your word for it? Anyway, I want everything in writing. I want to leave a clear record of everything that transpired.
What are you trying to say, that I'm at fault here?
If you don't agree to it, forget about getting divorced. Oh, and as for the house and all our joint assets, that will be divided up equally. My lawyer will work that out. I suggest you get a lawyer too, Mark. A lot of paperwork. You don't want to get screwed later on.
Huh? You want me to hire a lawyer?
Yeah, I would recommend that you do. Now that we've decided, I'm packing my things and taking the kids to my parents' place tonight.
Oh, I get it. You knew this was coming. All you wanted all along was money. You didn't love me at all. It was all just the greenbacks. You know what, Diane? I'm actually glad I was able to see you for what you really are. A selfish, money-hungry she-devil. You know why divorces are expensive? Because they're worth it. Hey Diane, what's up? It's been a while.
Is that you, Mark? Yeah, must be at least 7 years. What do you want?
I saw you at the General Hospital this afternoon at the maternity ward. I was just wondering what you were doing there is all.
Oh, yeah. I did see someone that looked like you sitting next door. You were seeing the optometrist, right? Getting bad eyesight in your old age or something? So, how have you been? Are you concerned about your daughters? Is that why you're contacting me after all these years?
Huh? Why would I be concerned about the girls? You got that handled, right?
Have you already forgotten? We agreed to keep this line open, so if you had any concerns about our daughters, you could contact me here. This is the first time, so I figured you wanted to know how the kids were doing.
No, nothing like that. I have no interest whatsoever in the girls. They probably don't even remember me.
Then what the hell do you want? I'm in no mood to hear your brainless nonsense.
Well, when I saw you there, your tummy looked pretty big, and you're in the maternity ward, which can only mean that you're pregnant, am I right?
I really have no obligation to tell you, but yeah, that's right. I'm pregnant, 8 months. I remarried about 3 years ago. You probably know that through our lawyers.
Yeah, he sent me a message about it. But what's with this husband of yours?
Keep my husband out of this, would you? You have no right criticizing my husband. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. He accepted my daughters as if they were his own. He's a wonderful and considerate person, unlike some people I know.
Yeah, well, that's fine and dandy, but I'm just surprised that he would marry someone that can't give birth to a boy. And another thing, my lawyer told me that he's the oldest in the family. And like my folks, they run a business too. Is he gonna have one of your daughters take over the business one day? Good luck with that. So you're already 8 months in, huh? Knowing you, I bet you're expecting another girl. What the hell are you gonna do with 3 girls? Just another useless mouse to feed. I can't believe you, Diane. You're doomed to only have girls. I guess it's in the cards, huh? Seems a foregone conclusion that you're gonna end up alone with 3 girls. I bet you've got it all worked out with your lawyer, I suppose.
Again, I have no obligation to tell you this, but just so you're aware, my husband's older sister is set to take over the family business.
Excuse me, his older sister? Are you serious? Now, why would they have a woman take over the business? Are they nuts?
That's simply because his sister is way more competent in business. She grew up helping her folks run the place. It was the logical choice, that's all.
But she's a woman! Seems like a very risky move.
They're not like your family, Mark. They're not as narrow-minded. They are more concerned about competence, not gender. Anyway, my husband runs his own business. He's too busy with his own problems. He doesn't meddle in the family business.
Yeah, to each his own, I suppose, but the fact of the matter is, she's a woman. The future looks bleak in my opinion.
My other son just turned 2 last week.
Huh, wait, what?
Yeah, about a year after we got married, we had a beautiful baby boy. Just turned 2, like I said. Cutest kid in the entire world.
No way, you have a 2-year-old boy? How did you give birth to a boy? I thought you were a girl-only type.
Please, Mark, stop with that nonsense, would you? If you don't mind, let's cut this short. This is getting tedious. Please, no more random texts, only for emergencies. Please. Goodbye, Mark.
Diane, answer me right this minute. I'm not kidding around. I want you to hand over one of the girls. She's my daughter.
Pardon me, are you out of your mind? You don't care which, the older one or the younger? It really doesn't matter?
I'll stop by tomorrow to pick her up. Everything's ready by 9 a.m., you got that? Decide which one you plan to hand over. Like I said, either will do.
Have you totally gone insane, Mark? Why the hell would I give you one of my children?
Huh, why not?
Are you seriously asking me why? She's not some toy you can borrow, for God's sake. You were the one that said you didn't want the girls because your new woman gave birth to a boy, right? What was that all about? In the past 7 years, you never even came to visit them. And now you want one of them? You've really gone off the deep end, Mark. I'm not going to comply to such an unreasonable demand. These are my daughters you're talking about. You lay a hand on them, you better be ready for the consequences.
Are you telling me you can't help me out of a dire situation? We used to be married, Diane. The least you could do is help out your ex.
Dire situation? What the hell are you talking about, Mark?
It's about my son. He was not my son after all.
Excuse me? Not your son? I don't get it.
I caught my wife having an affair, so just in case, I had a DNA test done on my son, and it turns out that he wasn't my son after all. For 7 years, I treated him like my own flesh and blood. The father's a guy she met 8 years ago before he married. He fathered this kid. He's not my real son.
Oh, really? How nice. So what's this got to do with me and my daughters?
Well, after we got divorced 7 years ago, I got really sick. Caught some weird virus, and as a result, I wasn't able to have kids. So I talked with my folks on what to do going forward, and what we decided on was that you give up one of your daughters and, after a while, have her marry an appropriate guy. They will eventually have a boy, and he'll someday take over the business. So I need you to agree on this. If I don't have an heir, I may not be able to continue running the family business.
You're out of your mind, Mark. I can't believe what I just heard. What total rubbish.
What'd you say?
I said it's total rubbish. I almost wanted to smack this phone against the wall.
You have no right to talk to me that way, Diane.
I told you when I remarried, but let me refresh your memory because you've clearly forgotten. I told you that my husband has officially adopted my daughters. They are no longer your kids. You gave up that right a long time ago.
What? He adopted them? That means...
That's right. Even if you're biologically related, legally, you're not their father. There is nothing you can do to force them to live with you, Mark. They are not your children anymore. You never wanted them anyway. And it's a little too late for all this.
Hold on a second, I'm not finished! Then terminate the whole adoption BS and give me back one of my daughters. You got kids and another on the way? You won't miss it if I take one, what's the big deal?
Are you smoking something?
Hey, tell you what, I'll take both of them off your hands, and then you can concentrate on bringing up your 2 new kids. What do you say? Come to think of it, if I have both of them, one can be used for a plan B if need be.
I think I'm going to have you officially institutionalized. You have totally lost it, Mark.
Pretty good idea, if I say so myself.
You know what, Mark? If there is anybody in this world that should never have kids, that's you. What do you think your children are? Baseball cards to be traded? Holy crap. You need to see a shrink, mister.
What are you babbling about?
I'm saying I will never, and I mean never, hand my daughters over to you. I would die before I ever do that.
Okie dokie. All the preparations are set to get back together with you, Diane.
Oh, please, not again. What is it this time, Mark? You're not getting the kids.
I know you don't want to hand over the kids. I'll come to you. Or shall I say, you come to me. We get married again, and then we're all good to go, right?
Wrong.
Oh, you're worried about the wife of my former so-called son. I already kicked them out, so no worries. Move in anytime you like. From today forward, you will become my wife again. You have a bright future ahead of us, Diane.
You can't be serious. Can you hold on a second? I'm gonna call the mental hospital.
Stop joking around, I'm serious. Oh, and when you come here, only bring the girls. You can leave the other kid with your ex-husband. Let me be perfectly clear, Diane. I have no intention of adopting that new kid of yours. If you cannot accept these terms, I'm sorry, Diane, but I will not be able to reconcile with you. Sorry, but you won't be my wife again. But whichever is the case, I'm still gonna go pick up one of my daughters, or maybe even both. You understand me?
Hey, a thought just crossed my mind. Do you even know where I live?
Well, how'd you think I'm a total moron? At your parents' place, of course. Think about it for a second, Diane. You're at the local maternity ward at the local hospital. Your parents' place is 30 minutes away. Where else would you be? Use your common sense.
I was back home just to give birth near my folks. We don't live there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so what?
Let me ask you this, Mark. When was it that you saw me at the maternity ward? I told you I was 8 months pregnant then, so how many months have passed since then?
I guess that was a little over 3 months ago.
That means I don't live with my folks and live in a completely different place. I already gave birth to a beautiful child, and I'm back at my husband's place.
Wait, stop right there. You don't live with your folks?
That's right. So don't go barging over to my parents' place and demand that they hand over the girls because neither I nor my kids are there. And for your information, I have no intention of remarrying you.
All right, so you moved. So what? Hurry up and give me the new address. I'll drive over to pick you guys up. Come on, stop giving me the runaround, Diane.
Excuse me? I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall.
I just finished getting my folks on board with this. They finally agreed to me remarrying you. So come on, stop trying to duck the issue. I know you secretly want to. So come, address please.
Mark, I'm going to say this one last time. I have zero intention of getting back together with you.
Right, so just give me the damn address, would ya? This delaying tactic is really getting on my nerves, Diane.
Delaying tactic? Boy, you are delusional. I'm not going to remarry you, Mark.
Diane, read the line carefully before you reply, would ya? I'm saying I'll take you and your daughters back, can't you understand? I'm doing you a huge favor. I'm going out on a limb for you guys. I get so upset. I thought you'd be jumping with joy.
Why would I be jumping for joy, for God's sake?
Huh?
My 2 daughters and my 2 sons I had with my current husband are all my children, and I love them dearly. I will never give them up for anything in the world. You understand me, you creep?
What? The kid you just had was a boy. You now have 2 boys? Are you serious?
Stop changing the subject. Like I said a million times, I have no intention of remarrying you, Mark. The thought alone makes me nauseous.
Nauseous? Are you kidding me?
And one more thing. I don't plan on divorcing my husband anytime soon. I love him. Why would I divorce the man I love? All I'm interested in is my family. I want them to be happy. That's all that matters to me. I don't want a creep like you ruining this family, so please, just get lost.
Come on, Diane, relax. I need you and the girls. Please, help me out here. If I don't do something about it now, my cousin will end up taking over the business. I just can't have that.
Oh yeah? Really? You know what? That sounds like a much better option.
Pardon me?
Your cousin, huh? That could only mean your cousin that lives back east, right? He would make a pretty good boss. Your grandfather would probably be happy with him running things.
Are you suggesting that he would be better than me?
Yeah, I guess I am. Anyway, you don't need my daughters. Your cousin would be more than adequate to take over. What's all the fuss? You make it sound like it's the end of the world.
Well, that means I won't be able to keep my current status as...
I really think the right person should take over, whoever is more competent. I think it would be better for business, and your cousin seems to fit the bill perfectly.
You make it sound like I can't do my job.
Can you really do the job, though? Didn't seem like it even back then.
What did you just say?
Okay, I guess that's it then. All problems solved.
No, the problem is not solved.
I really don't want to have to deal with your nonsense again, so please contact my lawyer for any further issues. As soon as I get a reply from my lawyer, I'm going to be blocking this line. Have to do everything legally, you know.
No, come on, Diane. Don't you dare cut me off.
This will be the last and final message. Goodbye, Mark. A few days later, I was finally able to block my line. Now my ex won't be able to contact me any longer. I suppose that pissed him off royally, and he immediately called my parents, screaming and shouting about God knows what. He threatened to talk to my daughters and reveal that my new husband is not their father. But I had already sat my daughters down even before we were married and told them that their new father was not their biological father. And they were fine with that. As a matter of fact, they were overjoyed when he announced that he would adopt them. Truth be told, my daughters love their new father. My mom explained that there are no secrets in our family. That's why we're a happy and content family. It seems everything Mark tries fizzles out. His frustration level is probably out of this world. I immediately contacted my lawyer and made sure there was no more correspondence from him. He no longer has any connection to this family, and I want to keep it that way. I heard that because of his mismanagement of the family business, he was eventually removed from his position and replaced by his more sensible cousin. He wasn't able to stay long at his parents' business working as one of the staff. His pride and conceit just wouldn't allow it, as you can probably imagine. Last I heard, he took some part-time job out of town and lives in some low-rent apartment trying to make ends meet.